Asking, "How was our Nabi?" is to ask about his character, his manners, and his physical appearance. It is a question that touches the heart of every Muslim. The character and person of Prophet Muhammad was the living embodiment of the Qur'an. He was not just a messenger who delivered a message. He was the message in human form. Here is a description based on the authentic narrations from his companions. 1. His physical appearance as described by his companions. His companions described him with immense love and detail. Here are some of their descriptions. Face. His face was radiant, like the moon on a clear night. It was not perfectly round, but rather slightly oval and handsome. When he was happy, his face would light up so brightly that it was described as being like a piece of the moon. Eyes. His eyes were large and black, with long eyelashes. Hair. His hair was neither completely straight nor completely curly. It was slightly wavy and reached between his earlobes and shoulders. He would often part his hair. Build. He was of medium height, not too tall and not too short. He had a broad chest and shoulders. His body was well proportioned and muscular. Skin. His complexion was fair with a reddish, luminous tinge. Between his shoulders, he had the seal of prophethood, a small physical mark between his shoulder blades, which was described as being like a mole or a cluster of small bumps. When people saw him for the first time, they were struck with awe and love simultaneously. A companion described him perfectly. "I have never seen anyone before him or after him who is as magnificent as him." 2. His character and manners, the heart of the matter. This is the most important aspect of who he was. He was known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy, even before he received revelation, compassion, and mercy. He was exceptionally kind and gentle. He played with children, showed affection to his family, and was always concerned about the well-being of others. He said, "The believers in their mutual kindness, compassion, and sympathy are just like one body. When one of the limbs suffers, the whole body responds to it with wakefulness and fever." Sahih al-Bukhari. Humility. Despite being the leader of a growing community, he mended his own clothes, helped with household chores, and sat and ate with the poor. He never placed himself above anyone else. Generosity. He was the most generous of people, especially during Ramadan. He never hoarded worldly goods and would give away anything he was given, trusting completely in Allah. Patience and forgiveness. When he was persecuted in Taif and stoned until his shoes were filled with blood, he did not curse the people. Instead, he prayed for their guidance. When he conquered Mecca victoriously, he granted a general amnesty to all who had tortured him and his followers for years, saying, "No blame will there be upon you today. Go, for you are free." Justice. He was fiercely just. He upheld justice for everyone, whether they were Muslim or non-Muslim, friend or foe. He said, "Indeed, the nations that came before you were destroyed, because when a nobleman among them stole, they would let him go. But when a weak person among them stole, they would carry out the punishment upon him." Sahih al-Bukhari. Smiling and cheerful. His companions reported that he was almost always smiling and had a great sense of humor. He would joke with his companions, but he always spoke the truth. Connection with Allah. He was the most devoted worshiper. He would stand in prayer so long that his feet would swell. When asked why he prayed so much when all his sins had been forgiven, he replied, "Should I not be a grateful servant?" In summary, our Nabi was a perfect balance of strength and gentleness, leadership and servitude, seriousness and humor. He was a mercy to the worlds, as Allah called him in the Qur'an. Teacher who guided people out of darkness into light. Husband and father who was loving and affectionate. Leader who was just and compassionate. Servant of Allah who was the epitome of devotion and gratitude. To know him is to love him, and to love him is to strive to follow his beautiful example. In every aspect of our lives, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, his family, and his companions.